Well, I think that's the whole show.
It's amazing, really. I haven't taken half of it in, you know.
So will you want me to go over any of it?
No, not now. I'm quite done up for this morning.
So you mean you're tired of listening to sounds?
Yes, it's a fearful strain. I rather fancy myself because I can pronounce 24 distinct vowels out. But your 130 bit me. I can't hear a bit of difference to most of them.
What's the matter, Mrs. Pearce?
A young lady wishes to see you, Mr. Higgins.
Well, young lady, what does she want?
Well, she says you'll be glad once you know what she's come about. A very common girl, sir. Very common girl indeed. But I only kept her because I thought that maybe you'd like her to talk into one of your machines.
Oh, that's all right. Has she an interesting accent?
Oh, something dreadful, sir. Dreadful indeed.
Okay. Let's have her up. Sure, in Mrs. Pearce?
Very well, sir.
This is a rather better black. I'll show you how I set the records, and we'll set her talking, and I'll take it down in Bell's visible speech, and then in broad Romic, and then we'll get her on the photograph so that you can turn her on as often as you like, with a written transcription before you.
This is the young woman, sir. Good morning, sir.
By George! This is the girl that I jotted down last night. She's no use. I took all the records of the lesson group lingo. I'm not going to waste another cylinder on it. Be off with you. I don't want you.
Don't be so saucy. You ain't heard what I come for yet. Did you tell him I come in a taxi? Nonsense, girl. What do you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins cares where you came in? We are proud. He ain't above giving lessons. Not him. I heard him say so. I'm not here looking for any compliment. And if my money is not good enough, I can go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. Now you know, don't you? I've come to have a lessons I am. And to pay for it too. No mistake.
Pickering, shall we ask this baggage to sit down or shall we throw her out of the window?
But what is it you want?
I want to be a lady in a flower shop. Instead of selling flowers at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. But they won't take me unless I can speak more genteel. He said he could teach me. Well, here I am, ready to pay him. And he treats me as I was a dirt. Nonsense, girl. How can you be such an ignorant, foolish fool as to think you can afford to pay Mr. Higgins? Why shouldn't I? I know how lessons cost as well as you do. And I'm ready to pay him.
Excuse me, how much?
Now you're talking.
Oh, sit down, girl.
Oh, if you're going to make a compliment of it.
Sit down!
Sit down, girl. Do as you're told.
Won't you sit down?
Don't mind if I do.
What is your name?
Eliza, Dolittle.
How much do you propose to pay me for the lessons?
Oh, I know what's right. A lady friend of mine gets French lessons for 8 pence an hour from a Frenchman. So you wouldn't have the face to ask me the same for teaching me my own language. So I'll pay you only shilling. Take it or leave it.
Well, what do you think, Higgins?
She can offer me 2/5 of her day's income. 2/5 of a millionaire's income would be around £60. That's substantial. It's enormous. It's the biggest offer I ever had.
But I ain't got £60. Sit down, you silly girl. Nobody's gonna touch your money.
Somebody is going to touch you, alright? If you don't stop sniveling.
One would think you are my father.
If I decide to teach you, I'll be worse than 2 fathers to you. Here?
What is this for?
That's to wipe your eyes. To wipe every part of your face when you feel moist. And remember, that's your handkerchief and that's your sleeve.
Higgins, I'm interested. What about the ambassador's garden party? I say you're the greatest teacher alive if you make that good. Now I bet you all the expenses of the experiment that you can't do it. And I pay for the lessons too.
Oh, you are really good. Thanks, Captain.
It's irresistible. She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty.
Oh, I am dirty. I washed my face and hands before I come, I did.
Take all her clothes off and burn them. Ring up Mark Jacobs or someone for new clothes. Rub her in paper till they come.
You're no gentleman, you're not. To talk about such a thing, I'm a good girl, I am. And I know what the like of you are, I do.
We want none of your slum prodder here, young woman. You've got to learn to behave like a duchess. Take her away, Mrs. Pearce. If she gives you any trouble, wallop her.
Ow! I'll call the police, I will!
I have no place to put her!
Put her in the dustbin.
Oh, come, Higgins. Be reasonable.
What's the matter?
Well, the matter is, sir, you can't go around picking up girls as if you're picking up pebbles on the beach.
Why not?
Well, you don't know anything about her. What about her parents? She might be married.
Gone!
There you are. As the girl very properly says, gone.
Who'd marry me?
By George, Eliza. The streets will be strewn with the bodies of men shooting themselves for your sake before I'm done with you.
Nonsense, sir. You mustn't talk to the girl like that.
I'm going away. He's off of his chump, he is. I don't want no madman teaching me.
You're an ungrateful, wicked girl. This is what I get for offering to take you out of the gutter and make a lady out of you.
Stop, Mr. Higgins. You must stop this. I won't allow it. It's you that are wicked. What's to become of the girl? You must be sensible, sir.
Does it occur to you, Higgins, that the girl has some feelings?
Oh no, I don't think so. Not any feelings that we need to bother about. Have you, Eliza?
I've got my feelings same as anyone else.
You must keep to the point, Mr. Higgins. You must think ahead a little. What's to become of her after you finish your experimentation?
Well, throw her back in the gutter.
You've got no feeling, Arden, you. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Here I had enough of this. I'm going.
Have a break, Eliza. Have a Kit Kat.
I wouldn't have ate it. I'm only too ladylike to take it out of my mouth.
Stop, Mr. Higgins. You're tempting the girl. It's not right.
Excuse me, Higgins, but I really must interfere. Mrs. Spear is quite right. If this girl is to put herself in your hands for 6 months for an experiment in teaching, she must understand thoroughly what she's doing.
Use of explaining. As a military man, you ought to know that. Give orders. That's enough for her. Listen, Eliza. You are to live here for the next 6 months. If you're good and do whatever you're told, you shall sleep in a proper bedroom. If you're naughty and idle, you will sleep in the back of the kitchen amongst the black beetles. At the end of 6 months, you shall go to the Buckingham Palace, beautifully dressed. If the king finds out that you're not a lady, you will be taken by the police of the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off. As a warning to other presumptuous girl, if you're not found out, you shall be a present of 6 pence to start life with as a lady in a flower shop. If you refuse this offer, you will be the most ungrateful wicked girl, and the angels will weep for you.
Me, as I was a dog.
Nonsense, sir.
How much?